We are delighted to be able to interview today Mr. Eugene Downs. And his wife, Vi, is with us today. And you live here in Greentown, 80 South, 950 East.
Right.
In Greentown. Gene, tell me again how many years you've lived in your present home?
54.
54 years. Gene, what branch of service did you serve in?
Navy, U.S. Navy.
You enlisted in 1944, and you were 18, and you were discharged in 1946. Now, did you re-enlist? I see a question mark here, something about re-enlisting. Did you re-enlist for another time?
Yeah, but it was peacetime, and it was near like a wartime, so I said, I'm going home. And I hadn't turned my wife in as my dependent in the second time, so I turned her in, and they said, you're getting out of here right now.
Now that they had a dependent on your...
Yeah.
Well, when were you and Vi married then? You were enlisted in 1944. When did you get married? Were you married before you enlisted?
No, on my first leave out of boot camp.
Is that right? You came home from Great Lakes, Illinois, and then I see 5 weeks here. So you went to boot camp. Where did you get married? In Greentown or?
No, North Vernon, Indiana.
Oh, was that where you lived when you?
Well, I lived in Scott County.
Okay.
And she lived in Jefferson County. We happened to be in North Vernon that day, and we decided to get married, and her mother was with us, and so we tied the knot.
You probably didn't have too much time together, did you, before you were sent overseas or not?
No, I think probably 7 or 8 days.
And then he went off to your first assignment. Do you remember where your first assignment was?
Yeah, I went to USS, I believe it was Oglethorpe. It was kind of like a destroyer escort. Small ship, but fast.
I suppose a destroyer was to destroy another ship.
And it was fast, to be able to do it. Like the big battleships was so slow that the destroyer could overtake it easy.
Oh, I see. So the destroyer was smaller.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And you were on a ship, a destroyer?
Yeah, destroyer escort.
So on your ship, did you have like heavy artillery guns? How would you protect it?
We had a 20 on the bow blade and a 40 millimeter on the stern. One night they told us that the Japanese had told all their flyers, they call them kamikaze flyers, we're giving you enough fuel to get a ship, and told you where the ship was at. And if you don't get it, you're gone anyway, because you're not got no fuel to get back home on. That's what we were told. He hit our smokestack about that far down from the top, which didn't really damage us, but when he lost control, went in the water, it blowed all of his ammunition up, and it knocked a hole in the side of our ship, but it was above water. And they somehow or another, I call it glued plywood over that until we got into a port.
I take it you saw that kamikaze heading down toward your ship?
No, we was asleep when he come down.
Really?
And it woke us all up. And
I bet.
Everything went from there in a turmoil.
Oh.
Everybody was scared.
Well, of course.
Including me.
What was your job to do then?
Well, I was just a seaman and to help the other people get stuff ready and let the masterminds handle the and figuring out. Yeah. Call him captain. I remember the first time when it was all over and we went into port, he said, I don't want to hear any of you guys coming back drunk aboard ship. He said, just because we've been at sea a few months, he said, that don't give you the right to go out and get drunk. He said, you can drink a little. He come back and fell through the gang, broke his leg, drunk in the sky. Oh, we had a time with that.
Oh, you're kidding.
We took,
You took some Japanese soldiers on your ship, and American soldiers went on
they
another ship.
called them the prize crew. We took our prize crew aboard the Japanese ship and brought some of their personnel back on our ship so they wouldn't be so crowded. Took the last ship they had in Tokyo Bay and anchored it. Yeah.
Did you have some good friends that you made during your service time?
Oh yeah, I had two that took care of me just like Dad. Marvin Windsor and Henry McSwain. One was from Kentucky and the other was from South Carolina. And they just took care of me because I was so young. I think if it hadn't been for those two members that took me under their wing, I might not be here today.
Isn't that right? Do you have any advice to today's young people?
Work hard and help anybody you can.